Christianity and Islam stand as two of the world's largest religions. They share a common ancestor in the faith of Abraham. Both religions trace their lineage back to this patriarch. This shared heritage is significant. It forms a foundation of common ground. Despite their differences, Christianity and Islam possess remarkable similarities. These similarities are evident in their core beliefs, ethical principles, and spiritual practices. By exploring these commonalities, we can foster understanding and respect between these two faiths. This essay delves into the shared beliefs and practices of Islam and Christianity. We will explore their views on God, prophets, and the Day of Judgment. We will also examine their perspectives on Jesus and Mary. Furthermore, we will discuss how Muslims and Christians can coexist peacefully and engage in fruitful collaborations. By understanding each other's faiths, we can build bridges of communication and cooperation. A fundamental principle shared by Islam and Christianity is monotheism. Both faiths believe in the existence of only one God. This God is the creator and sustainer of the universe. He is eternal, omnipotent, and omnipresent. Muslims refer to God as Allah, while Christians use names like God, Lord, or Father. Despite the different names, the concept of God is remarkably similar. Both religions also revere prophets as messengers of God. These prophets received divine revelations and conveyed them to humanity. Adam, Noah, Abraham, Moses, and Jesus are recognized as prophets in both Islam and Christianity. These prophets played crucial roles in guiding humanity towards righteousness. Their teachings emphasized moral conduct, spiritual purity, and submission to God's will. The belief in a final day of judgment is another shared element. Both faiths teach that God will judge all souls based on their deeds. Those who lived righteous lives will be rewarded with paradise. Those who lived in sin will face punishment in hell. This belief in accountability underscores the importance of leading a virtuous life. It encourages believers to strive for spiritual growth and moral excellence. Beyond shared beliefs, Islam and Christianity also share certain practices. Prayer is a fundamental pillar in both faiths. Muslims perform 5 daily prayers at specific times throughout the day. Christians also engage in regular prayer, although the frequency and form may vary. Prayer serves as a means of communication with God. It allows believers to express gratitude, seek guidance, and strengthen their connection with the divine. Charity is another important practice emphasized in both religions. Islam mandates zakat, an obligatory form of almsgiving. Muslims are required to donate a portion of their wealth to the needy. Similarly, Christianity encourages acts of charity and compassion towards the less fortunate. Tithing, donating to charities, and volunteering are all ways in which Christians practice generosity and care for others. Fasting is another shared practice. Muslims observe a month-long fast during Ramadan, abstaining from food and drink from dawn till dusk. Fasting serves as a form of spiritual purification and self-discipline. Christians also practice fasting, particularly during Lent. Fasting helps believers cultivate self-control, empathy for the poor, and a deeper connection with God. Pilgrimage is another practice found in both faiths. Muslims undertake the Hajj, a pilgrimage to Mecca in Saudi Arabia. This pilgrimage is obligatory for all able-bodied Muslims who can afford it. Christians may go on pilgrimages to holy sites such as Jerusalem, Rome, or Lourdes. Pilgrimages provide opportunities for spiritual reflection, renewal of faith, and strengthening of communal bonds. Jesus and Mary hold significant places in both Islam and Christianity. However, there are differences in how each faith views them. Both religions acknowledge Jesus as a prophet and messenger of God. Both believe in his miraculous birth from the Virgin Mary. Muslims revere Mary as a chosen woman who gave birth to Jesus through a divine miracle. Christians venerate Mary as the Mother of God. Despite these similarities, there are also significant differences. Christians believe that Jesus is the Son of God, divine and part of the Holy Trinity. Muslims, however, do not accept the divinity of Jesus. They believe he was a prophet, but not God incarnate. They also do not accept the concept of the Trinity. The crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus are also points of divergence. Christians believe that Jesus was crucified on the cross for the sins of humanity and rose from the dead on the third day. This event is central to their faith and is seen as the ultimate act of love and sacrifice. Muslims, on the other hand, do not believe that Jesus was crucified. They believe that God ascended him to heaven before the crucifixion. These differences in beliefs about Jesus are fundamental and stem from the different theological frameworks of the two religions. While Christians view Jesus as the path to salvation, Muslims believe that salvation comes through faith in God, good deeds, and acceptance of Muhammad as the final prophet. Section 5. Building bridges, friendship, and business across faiths. Despite theological differences, Muslims and Christians can coexist peacefully and build strong relationships. Both religions emphasize the importance of love, compassion, and justice. These shared values form a solid foundation for friendship, cooperation, and mutual respect. Muslims are taught to treat people of other faiths with kindness and fairness. The Quran states, "God does not forbid you to deal kindly and justly with those who have not fought you because of your religion." Quran 60, verse 8. Similarly, Christians are commanded to love their neighbors as themselves, regardless of their religious beliefs. Jesus taught, "Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." Matthew 5, verse 44. This emphasis on love and forgiveness extends to people of all faiths. In the realm of business, Muslims and Christians can engage in fair and ethical transactions. Both religions prohibit deceit, dishonesty, and exploitation. Muslims are guided by the principles of honesty, transparency, and fulfilling contracts. Christians are similarly called to conduct business with integrity, fairness, and a commitment to ethical practices. By adhering to these shared values, Muslims and Christians can establish successful and mutually beneficial business relationships. Section 6. Halal and haram Islamic dietary laws explained. Islam has specific dietary laws that govern what Muslims can and cannot consume. These laws are based on the Quran and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad. The Arabic word halal means permissible or lawful, while haram means forbidden or unlawful. Halal foods are those that are permitted for consumption by Muslims. One of the most well-known haram foods is pork. Muslims are prohibited from consuming pork or any products derived from it. The consumption of alcohol is also strictly prohibited in Islam. Intoxicants are considered harmful to the mind and body and are therefore forbidden. Animals that are found dead, have been strangled, or have not been slaughtered according to Islamic rituals are also haram. Islamic law prescribes a specific method of slaughtering animals known as zabiha. This method involves a swift cut to the jugular vein while reciting a prayer. It ensures that the animal is treated humanely and that the blood is drained from the carcass. Carnivorous animals, birds of prey, and reptiles are also haram. Blood and blood products are also forbidden. Gelatin derived from haram sources is also not permissible. Muslims are required to ensure that the gelatin used in food products is derived from halal sources. Section 7. Dietary practices, similarities and differences. While Christianity does not have a strict set of dietary laws like Islam, there are some similarities and differences in dietary practices. For example, both religions emphasize the importance of consuming food that is clean and wholesome. Both faiths encourage moderation in eating and discourage gluttony and extravagance. Some Christian denominations, such as Catholics, observe fasting during certain periods, like Lent. During these fasts, they may abstain from meat or certain types of food. However, these practices are not as comprehensive or as strictly followed as the dietary laws in Islam. Christians generally do not have restrictions on consuming pork or drinking alcohol. However, some Christian groups choose to abstain from alcohol for personal or religious reasons. Overall, Christian dietary practices are more flexible and less restrictive than Islamic dietary laws. Despite these differences, there is common ground in the values that underpin these practices. Both religions emphasize the importance of respecting God's creation, treating animals with compassion, and consuming food in a way that promotes physical and spiritual well-being. Section 8. Respect and understanding the path to harmony. In an increasingly interconnected world, promoting interfaith dialogue and understanding is more important than ever. Muslims and Christians can learn from each other's faiths and build bridges of communication and cooperation. By engaging in respectful dialogue, we can dispel stereotypes, challenge prejudices, and foster greater understanding. Educational initiatives can play a vital role in promoting interfaith harmony. Schools, universities, and community centers can organize events and programs that bring Muslims and Christians together. Interfaith dialogues, film screenings, and cultural exhibitions can provide platforms for learning about each other's beliefs, practices, and perspectives. Media also has a crucial role to play in promoting accurate and balanced portrayals of different faiths. By avoiding harmful stereotypes and showcasing the diversity of voices and experiences within each religion, media can contribute to a more informed and tolerant society. Section 9. Conclusion: embracing common ground. Despite their theological differences, Islam and Christianity share a rich tapestry of common ground. Their shared Abrahamic roots, belief in one God, reverence for prophets, and emphasis on ethical conduct provide a strong foundation for mutual respect and understanding. By focusing on these commonalities, we can build bridges of communication, foster interfaith harmony, and work together towards a more just and compassionate world. The shared values of love, compassion, and justice provide a framework for Muslims and Christians to engage in meaningful relationships and collaborations. By recognizing and appreciating our common humanity, we can overcome prejudice, promote tolerance, and create a world where people of all faiths can coexist peacefully and thrive together.